Hello people, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to the propaganda machine. And I've just had the biggest stinker. 30 minutes recorded straight and the video didn't save. Oh, I'm furious. This is the Premier League preview show for game week 8. And as we do, we always begin with Arsenal. So, there's some injury news. Odegaard should be back before the end of the international break, which is a very, very good news. And that should probably be the Newcastle or the Chelsea game. Liverpool might be a bit too soon. Tomiyasu, he's aggravated his knee injury he suffered in pre-season. Tierney, there's no news on him as he's not really part of the squad. We have Ben White, Zinchenko and Jurrien Timber all in contention for the game, which is a very good thing in terms of our defensive positions. Havertz and Partey didn't go away with their national teams. Partey is definitely available and Havertz is training one more time and should be ready. Martinelli and Saka, on the other hand, they're the two that it seems a little bit of question marks are over them. As Saka, although Arteta said it's not a serious injury, he's keeping his cards close to his chest as it seems that he should be available, but we just never know. Martinelli, they're going to assess him, but Arteta believes that the player wants to play, so it looks like he'll probably be available. And now for the preferred starting lineup for this game: David Raya in goal, Jurrien Timber, Calafiori, Gabriel and Saliba at the back, Declan Rice, Thomas Partey and Leandro Trossard in the midfield, then Havertz, Martinelli and Saka up front. So the only change would be moving Thomas Partey from right back to centre midfield and bringing Timber in and taking Jorginho out of the side. So that's the team news. And in this game, I feel this is a game against Bournemouth that is probably gonna play into our hands, as Bournemouth, they like attacking football and they're gonna try and come against us. They're gonna try and go for us as they're at home. But that is a very, very big mistake, I believe, on their behalf, as our strength is defence and we have an equaliser in set pieces as well as quick forwards that can get in behind, whether it be Sterling or Martinelli, Saka, Havertz. They can all get in behind the defence and cause a lot of trouble for Bournemouth. So I don't think this is going to be an easy game, but I feel this is going to be a clash of styles, and this is a perfect style for us. It's going to play into our hands, and I'm going with a 3-0 win. It won't be comfortable, but the scoreline will say otherwise. And now, the game of the weekend. This is Liverpool versus Chelsea, the two overachievers. When Klopp left, no one thought Liverpool would be sitting top of the table after 7 games. Most of us thought, Arne Slot, who's he? He's not really gonna do much. They might finish third, but that's as high as it goes. Now, although they ain't played no one, they're sitting pretty at the top. And Chelsea, after finishing 12th and 6th, no one really thought that they'd be comfortable in 4th, especially with Enzo Maresca, someone that nobody knows. But they've looked very good. And in this game, it's the best defense versus the most potent attack, as Chelsea are very good at fast breaks, breaking forward, very quick at speed. They've got goals from all angles. Madueke's got a hat-trick, Nkunku's got a hat-trick, Palmer's got 4 goals in the game. So you can see they've got players that can hurt you. Jackson is on a very good scoring run this season. So it's very dangerous. And Liverpool, they've only conceded 2 goals. So this is a game that is very, very interesting. As Chelsea, they've also scored the second most goals in the league, only one behind Man City. So you got to say there's going to be some interesting battles in this game. But where I think it might be won and lost is Chelsea's defence. If Chelsea decide to try and play possession-based football, go at Liverpool instead of being a little bit more pragmatic and reserved, I feel that is going to hurt them, especially as I'm not too sure about their defence. Whoever plays, they haven't really been up against dangerous attacks. When they have, they lost against Man City 2-0. Also, they conceded 2 against Wolves. They look like conceded so many in that game. So yeah, I just feel that this is gonna be won in moments, and the player who's gonna probably pick his moment is Mohamed Salah, the ex-Chelsea player. He has a very good scoring record against them, and I feel he's gonna do the damage and help Liverpool beat Chelsea 3-1. Next game, Manchester United versus Brentford. And to be frankly honest with you, I'm tired of this Ten Hag and Man United. I'm tired. 14th versus 11th. This is mid-table. I don't even know why I'm talking about it. Why is Ten Hag still at Man United? It's even winding me up, and I don't support Man United, as this guy is just clearly out of his depth. They're saying again 2 more games, and if he doesn't win them, he's going to lose his job. So are they going to say this every single week? Oh, he's got 2 games. He's got 2 games. Ineos seem like they don't have a clue. At least with the Glazers, we knew off the pitch they were useless. They were quite useless in their dealings in the transfer market and other things. But with this Ineos, they just seem like they're confused. So I'm tired, and we still don't know Man United's style of play. We don't know their identity. We don't know anything to do with them. On the other hand, Brentford, we know their identity. We know what they're gonna do. They're gonna go after you. They're gonna be reserved. They've got a structure. We know their shape. It's three at the back. 3-4-3 usually. Or sometimes 3-5-2. But right now they haven't got Wissa, which is so lucky for Man United. Very, very lucky. Because if they had Wissa and then Bremo, the Cramp twins, this would have been guaranteed a bloodbath at Old Trafford. Definitely. I have no doubt in my mind. But lucky for Man United, they're without those players. And I'm probably going with a 1-1 draw, as I won't be surprised if Man United get a victory, because every time Ten Hag, they tell us he's going to get sacked, he manages to somehow pick a result out of thin air. And I don't really care. Let him stay. Give him 10 years. Let him stay. Trust the process. You Man United fans, don't get angry. Keep Ten Hag. Very good manager. Very good manager. Next game, Spurs versus West Ham. 2 underachievers. Spurs in 9th, West Ham in 12th. Postecoglou in his second season, it's not really going the way he'd planned. And we've got Lopetegui in his first season. It's definitely not going the way he's planned, as there's been some games that West Ham, they've just looked disjointed, especially at home. 2-0 loss against Aston Villa, or was it 2-1? And then a 3-0 loss against Chelsea, and they just looked so pathetic in that game. They were just getting cut through the middle. Literally the slowest midfield in the league, just pathetic. And he is under serious pressure. He got a 4-1 win in his last game, but if he's not careful, he will be out of a job very soon. And this game seems like it's going to be a shootout because neither side seem to defend. They don't know how to defend. Tottenham, Romero, Van der Ven, I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced. High line, whatever. It's just not really my cup of tea. And this is a shootout between the front five of Tottenham, Kulusevski, Maddison, Werner or Son, whoever gets the nod if Son's back, Brennan Johnson, and Solanke. Those five versus Kudus, Paqueta, Bowen, and maybe Somerville. I don't know. Would it be Ings? Would it be Antonio? Could it be Fulkrug? I don't know because I don't feel like the manager knows his best 11 at the moment. I don't feel like West Ham are a settled side, and that is why I'm going with a 3-2 win to Tottenham because I'd rather trust 5 attackers than 4. Next game, Wolves versus Manchester City. Wolves. 20th in the league versus the Premier League champions. 4 in a row Manchester City have won. And for some reason, I have a sneaky suspicion Wolves could get something. But I also have a bigger suspicion this could be a bloodbath as Wolves have conceded the most goals in the Premier League. And they're up against the striker with the most goals in the Premier League, Erling Haaland. He could easily get 5. He could easily get 6. If he got 6 goals against Wolves and broke the record of most goals in a game, no one's going to be surprised because Wolves, they just, we don't know what we're going to get. Brentford killed them. They killed them in the first half. Absolute bloodbath. And Gary O'Neill, he's kind of on thin ice. They have had a very, very tough start, but if you keep losing, sooner or later you're gonna get the loser's mentality, and it doesn't matter who you play, you're just gonna keep losing, 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 and that's it. You're sacked. So, like I said, there's not much to really preview in this game. I'm going with a 2-1 win to Man City. It's gonna be a bit close, but I don't think it's really gonna be anything other than a Man City win. I can't see it. Now we go into the relegation battles, or relegation eels. Southampton versus Leicester City, the 2 promoted sides. There's been improvement from both sides this season. Well, not this season, in the last couple of games. I've seen firsthand against Arsenal both of these teams. Leicester, they took us to the wire, literally in the 90th minute. We battered them for 90 minutes, you could say, breaking records, 30 shots, this Saka breaking records. But somehow they hung in there. They hung in. Southampton, on the other hand, they played better. But we beat them 3-1. It was a lot more. It weren't comfortable, but that's the difference. Southampton played better and lost a lot more kind of with a whimper. The game was done by the 90th minute. Leicester, we struggled up until the 90th minute. And Leicester, they've already got a win this season. So their toes are up a bit. The Foxes' toes are up. So I can just see Southampton being their own worst enemy as they're at home. They're going to go for this game. They know they have to win. They have to attack. Leicester, they can just sit back. And what do we know Leicester for? Jamie Vardy, counter-attack specialist. And I'm going with a 3-1 win to Leicester City as I don't trust Southampton Football Club. Everton versus Ipswich. So Ipswich in 17th, Everton at 16th, and Everton, they're just constantly cheating death. Death is being cheated season in, season out. When will they get relegated? I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. They're just kind of they're too good to get relegated and not good enough to be in the Premier League. So it's kind of a weird mix for them. But Ipswich, on the other hand, they don't really have the quality. But at home, they can get results. They've been drawing quite a few games, and in the last game, I predicted them to beat Aston Villa 2-1, their last home game. But it was a 2-2 draw. They played very well in that game. And I'm thinking that their scalp is soon coming. And what better time to get it than against Everton, who aren't the best side away from home. So I'm going with a 2-1 win to Ipswich Town. This is your introduction to the Premier League. You finally made it. Next game, Fulham versus Aston Villa. Fulham, very good at home. 2 wins and a draw at home. They look very, very good. And especially against Manchester City, even though they were away in the last game, they had a game plan. Marco Silva, he done everything. They say a coach's job is to get you from one box to the other. Once you're in the box, it's down to the players. And Adama Traore, he let down his manager in that game because he should have had a hat trick. He should have minimum had 2 goals, and he just didn't do it. He just didn't finish his dinner. And as I say, if you don't finish your dinner, somebody else will come and gladly take the food off your plate. And Manchester City, they done that. They done that expertly. Villa, on the other hand, 2 draws in their last 2 games against Man United and Ipswich, and they're not fooling me. It's at Villa Park where they look the most dangerous. So I feel this is a game too far. Europe seems to be catching up with Aston Villa, and I feel that their results are soon going to start dipping. 3-2 Fulham, I'm predicting. Brighton versus Newcastle. Very, very close game. Brighton in 6th, Newcastle in 7th. Both of these sides, Newcastle, they haven't really looked the most fluid, but they are getting results. Both of them have the same number of points, so they've had quite good starts to the season. And Brighton, their attack are very dangerous. We've got the Minters, Adingras, Matoma, Danny Welbeck, rejuvenated. He's found a new lease of life. And I can see Brighton causing Newcastle a lot of trouble, as Newcastle are the home side and they are going to have to go for it. And I expect goals, a lot of goals. But what I'm going with is the home team. I feel the fans at St James's Park might just get Newcastle over the line, and another 3-2 victory for the home team. Last game of the weekend. Nottingham Forest versus Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, it's not been a very good start to the season for them. No wins. Forest, on the other hand, only 1 loss. So you can see both sides are in total different places. I thought Nottingham Forest were a little bit higher than 10th, as they seem to have started very well, but I think they've potentially no wins in 3 or 1 draw and 1 loss in their last 2 games. So that's why they're in this position in 10th, comfortable in mid-table. But Nuno Espirito Santo, he seems to be getting the best out of his players, and one manager who isn't is Glasner. He is under big pressure, along with Lopetegui, Ten Hag, potentially Postecoglou, the Southampton manager. There's a few of them who are in this sack race. So He needs to buckle up his ideas and start getting victories, as he's not getting the best out of the Ezes, the Nketiahs, the Matetas. Mateta last season was going crazy, but that looks like it was just a purple patch. Nketiah, he's not hit the ground running. Eze, he's still doing everything he can, but he can't do it by himself. He needs help. Nottingham Forest, they have players in the form of their life. Callum Hudson-Odoi back to form. Morgan Gibbs-White in the 10 pulling the strings, looking very, very good. Elanga, dangerous, very dangerous. And then you have Chris Wood, a player who I have to admire. Always gets 10 goals a season, double digits from his days at Burnley. Chris Wood, very, very good, underrated player. I need to probably do an underrated 11, and Chris Wood would definitely be in there. So I'm going with a 2-1 win to Nottingham Forest, as I trust Nuno to get the job done. So those were all of the matches, and here's a look at all the fixtures and results that I'm predicting. So let me know what you think about those results and join my league. The code is BODYFEED on Super Brew, so don't be a stranger. Guys, this has been the Premier League preview show for match day 8. Don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to the channel, and I'm out. Bless people.